The past year has seen deadly, hate-inspired attacks around the world, from the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting to the mosque attacks in New Zealand to the Easter Sunday bombings in Sri Lanka. The United Nations says enough is enough.
We are witnessing today a rise of anti-Semitism, racism. We are seeing refugees, migrants being vilified and humiliated. When we see today the rise of neo-Nazi groups, when we see extreme right-wing groups in many parts of the world, and particularly in the Western world, we need to be very vigilant. We should not forget that what happened in Europe in the 40s with the Holocaust, it did not start with the gas chambers. It did not start with the bombs. It started with words. The genocide in Rwanda did not start with the machetes. It started long before, at a time when the Tutsis were being named cockroaches, were being named after animals' names. So therefore, we have to realize that hate speech can lead to hate crimes, hate speech can lead to genocide, to crimes against humanity, etc.
Here in the United States, critics are accusing President Donald Trump of racism, for inciting hate through his handling of the border crisis, and for his attacks on minority congresswomen, including Somalia-born American Ilhan Omar. What do you make of U.S. President Donald Trump's comments recently to the congresswomen, the 4 minority congresswomen, telling them to go back to their home countries when they're Americans? What do you make of that kind of talk?
Well, I would simply say that diversity is a richness. Diversity is not a threat. And the United States, if it is today one of the most powerful countries, it is thanks to the diversity in this country. This is the country of migrants.
Where do you draw the line, though, between condemning hate speech and protecting freedom of speech? Where do you draw the line?
Addressing hate speech does not mean limiting or prohibiting freedom of speech. It means keeping hate speech from escalating into something more dangerous, particularly incitement to discrimination, to violence, or incitement to genocide, which is prohibited under international law.
To tackle this, the UN is harnessing the power of its key agencies and global partners to monitor and analyze hate speech, as well as address its root causes. But perhaps one of the most ambitious goals under its action plan is to prevent and combat the spread of hate speech on social media. Liling Tan, CGTN at the United Nations in New York.